Hello there everybody and welcome to a breakdown of Garden of Bricks Crystalized season. So without any further ado, let's dive in. This series is of 19 episodes as of today, but maybe one day will be completed. Everyone tag Garden of Bricks and motivate him to complete Crystalized. Regardless, let's get started. So first we see a temple and here we see many things such as Chen's noodle, Cole standing looking outside, a goldfish like Nemo, a crab, a telescope, a few posters like a UFO poster, flags like a dragon flag and two random people. We then see the mechanic robbing some money and then shutting the door, and then the scene cuts to the mechanic walking in a dark alleyway when suddenly from a crystal a message comes from a crystal warrior saying that just like in the real show, he here too is invited to the council of the Crystal King. After that, we see the mechanic walking in a place surrounded in crystals, and then we see a crystal warrior sword. Then, from a different angle, we see the mechanic surrounded by two crystal warriors, and he is standing in front of a mysterious person who says, "Welcome to the council." That mysterious person is none other than the Overlord. And that wraps up episode 1. Let's get on with episode 2. We see Pythor just coming out of a house and we see Minecraft-like trees, which may be a reference to his Minecraft movie. We then see the person who was stolen from, who looks just like Emmett from the Lego movie. We then see Jay with his nunchucks stopping Pythor in his tracks for a moment. Jay strikes first, giving Pythor an electrical shock, but Pythor then spins around and knocks Jay out for a second, during which Pythor escapes. But then Jay, using his power of lightning in an attempt to stop Pythor, stops him for a second, but Pythor escapes in quick succession. We then see Pythor in a dark place like the mechanic. Here then we see a crystal spider, the same one used in the real show, delivering the same message to Pythor as the mechanic. With that, the episode ends, creating suspense in our minds. Now, let's see episode 3. Right off, we see a burger poster, a bottle and a rat. We then see a thief walking and then meeting another person who is none other than King Vangelis or the Skull Sorcerer. The thief then gives the sorcerer some money and in exchange he gets Swenstone. After the thief leaves, we see Kai, after which there's a fight scene between the two, in which for a split second we see a menu as seen on the screen right now. Then as the fight continues, King Vangelis is able to escape and he lands in a place where we see the same message given to the Skull Sorcerer as given previously to Pythor and the mechanic. With that ending episode 3, let's get on with the next episode. So editor blunder here, and since the video was getting too long editing the whole thing, now I will only be pointing out the Easter eggs instead of explaining the whole episode. The playlist is there in the description, so I recommend that after this video, go check out Garden of Bricks playlist. And if you have watched it, watch it again because it's an epic season. Back with the video. This episode there weren't any Easter eggs. After the scenes inside the tent, when we see Zane being electrocuted, his body gets a glitch effect and every time there's a different glitch effect. Then after Skylar knocks out Harumi, we see a poster of Chen. That ends this video. Let's go to episode 6. When we see Cole being knocked behind for a few frames, we are able to see blueprints. One is for Pixel and yes, I translated it literally for no confusion. Check it out. And the second blueprint is for Samurai X, which says Mech Energy. Isn't that so cool? We also see an alert sign of a serpentine. Later in episode 8, these are shown in a much clearer way. That ends this amazing episode. Let's get on with the next one. As for episode 7, there weren't any Easter eggs that I found. But how Asphyra's tale was portrayed was quite neat and great attention to detail. Episode 8 was a fun, fight-filled, thrilling episode, and here are the blueprints which I told about earlier. In this scene after the ninja escape, we see a few details, such as Ronin standing there, the same noodle shop as seen in episode 1, the food menu I talked about earlier, and the noodle poster behind the woman, which when translated reads best in the city. We also see this poster, which was also in episode 1, so that's consistency and a neat detail. This can also further be proven as we see a trash can here, which can be vaguely seen in episode 1 too. Garden of Bricks, excellent job. Episode 10 was just like episode 8, an action filled episode. So, nothing to say about this episode. Let's get on with the next one. Here in this scene, when Okino is fighting the Crystal Warriors and is just saved by Nia, you can see an arcade machine, which is a nod to Prime Empire, which was the season when Okino comes into the real world. Let's get on with the next episode. This episode was an interesting episode, and the concept of becoming a Crystal Warrior was explained. Though there weren't any Easter eggs in this episode, I really liked it. Episode 13 didn't really have much in store, so let's get on with the next episode. Here we see the same paper which was there in the original show when the ninja were trying to achieve their dragon forms. We also see a flag here which reads Dojo. Both episodes 15 and 16 were based on fight scenes in the middle of nowhere, henceforth I wasn't able to find any Easter eggs. Episode 17 starts off with almost the whole city becoming infected, and we also see a golden statue, which means that not even the monastery had remained. We then see Ronan fighting the Crystal Warriors bravely before becoming a crystallized version of himself instead of a Crystal Warrior, which may just mean that maybe there's a way to cure him in the future. Episode 18 is a scene recreation and finally shows Lloyd since being captured, and is an amazing recreation of the scene. But there isn't anything intriguing here, so let's go to the next and currently the last episode in the series. Right off we see Lloyd, Wu and Garmadon running away from the villains. This is because this scene is right after Lloyd gets rescued by Wu and Garmadon. This is clarified by Garden of Bricks himself in the comments. This scene is a nod to the scene where Wu falls during the final battle with the Overlord in Crystalized. This episode ends with Lloyd running up to Pythor. And with that, we come to an end for now. I can't wait when Garden of Bricks releases its next episodes to finally put a well-deserved end to this amazing series. Well, that's enough from me. I'll see you all in another video. Goodbye.